Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some pretty cool things to go over. We have some new Nintendo Switch 2 updates to take a look at. We also have some new rumors for Generation 10. There's a lot of things to break down and get into today. So if you're excited for the video, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. It really helps out. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we cover in today's video. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, let's take a look at the latest Nintendo Switch 2 updates. So we have multiple sources talking about this. We're going to start off from this rumor here, from Go Nintendo tweet saying, rumor, devs aren't expecting Switch's successor to launch before April 2025. So that's nothing to do with the announcement before April 2025, but the actual console itself is not going to release before April 2025, which isn't the kind of craziest thing to imagine. Like, I still think the console is going to get announced this year. Whether that's going to be in October, we'll have to see if we get a direct in August or September. And then obviously there's that indie direct as well that we're expecting to see. And then finally the Switch 2 announcement. So even though they've come out and said that the kind of time frame between the announcement and the actual release of the console isn't going to be as long as the original Nintendo Switch, it's still not something that I would expect to see announced and then dropped kind of like this year or early next year either way. But let's see what the latest rumors are and stuff. So it says, rumor, devs aren't expecting Switch's successor to launch before April 2025, so the long haul. So we know that a Switch successor is in the works, as Nintendo has confirmed that much. Everything else out there about the hardware is a rumor for the time being, and that includes today's information. So according to game industry's Chris Dring, developers aren't expecting the Switch successor to launch in this fiscal year. That would mean that Nintendo's next-gen system won't arrive until April 2025 at the earliest. Dring said this information comes from the developers he spoke to on the matter, with some of them hoping for an April or May release. While they didn't share any new details, Eurogamer also corroborated this information. So this is obviously what Eurogamer said here, basically the exact same thing, saying, no, however, developers have been told not to expect the Switch 2 this current fiscal financial year, which ends on the 31st of March 2025. And then obviously speaking via the GI Microcast, boss of Eurogamer's sister site Games Industry, Biz, Chris Dring said that no developer I've spoken to expects it to launch in this fiscal financial year. In fact, they've been told not to expect it in this financial year. So that's just like two multiple sources kind of corroborating this information. So if this information is to be believed, it makes you wonder just when Nintendo will put out the Switch's successor. Would they launch in April following the Switch's path of launching at a time of the year most wouldn't expect? Would Nintendo hold off on the Switch's successor until the holiday season to make a really big splash? Only time will tell. And then we have this post here as well. I'm not going to go over all of it, but basically they're saying, why not post the actual quote? So this is what the actual quote was that he said. So when Nintendo announced their financials, they said they were going to announce the new Switch in the next financial year, and they didn't say they were going to release it. In previous financial years, when they have announced or released a new console, they normally say they are going to release a new console. They did it for the NX, and this time they hadn't done that. They just said they were going to announce it, so that was a big clue. No developer that I had spoken to, again, these are the words of Chris Dring, not this person here. No developer that I had spoken to expects it to be launching in the financial year. In fact, they've been told not to expect it in the financial year. A bunch of people I spoke to hope it's out in April, May 2025, which, again, if it gets announced in October, that's what, November to December, January, February, March, April. So yeah, you got what, like another 5 or 6 months until the game, till the console comes out. That it's out still early next year, not late. I don't know if any of us wants a late launch for the Switch 2, because A, we all want the new Nintendo console and everyone's excited for it, and B, we don't want that crunch of like GTA 6 and Switch on top of each other. That being said, Chris Dring, in my opinion, has notoriously poor opinions, and this is basically what they're saying there. So I'm not going to go over like all of this and stuff, but again, this is what Eurogamer is also kind of corroborating as well. Online rumors have previously suggested Nintendo would ape the launch rollout of Switch 1 with a successor. The Switch 1 was memorably announced in October 2016 via a trailer that named the console and showed off its main gimmick, which was a hybrid device. Nintendo then confirmed the console's March 2017 launch date of that year. So it's weird because even though they've said it's not going to be as long of a kind of like release window for the Switch 2 as it was for the Switch was between October and March. So that's what, November, December, January, February. So that's what, 4 or 5 months. So if it is true that they are not going to have as big of a window, and the console is not coming out until April or May, that means that it might not also be announced until next year as well, even though it's going to be announced before March. Like, we know that for a fact because that's what Nintendo has said. So kind of like loads of different things are being kind of thrown around. It's hard to kind of decipher what to really kind of take as actual merit and not. We also have Stealth talking about this as well, saying during the latest game industry podcast, Chris Dring provided an update on what he's heard about the Switch 2. So no developer I've spoken to, yada yada yada, we've already spoken about that. And then we have Stealth saying, if this is true, and I'm Nintendo, I'm not talking about Switch 2 in 2024, which pains me as a fan. It'd promote a price cut of the Switch this holiday, heavily discount first-party software, they usually do, and let it ride. Then in 2025, they can prioritize the Switch 2 launch, which again, as I've just said, this makes the most sense. And like I say, we've got people also saying this as well, you know, they can just repeat the Switch again, teaser trailer in October for discussion, reveal presentation in January, and then reveal it early, and then obviously release it early April, which again looks to be more of a like as long as we get a teaser, that would be kind of sick. So not like a release date or anything like that, not like the big presentation, but just the teaser, maybe what it looks like, maybe the name of it, and then in the actual presentation in like January or something, they drop like some of the games and stuff that's going to be coming out with it, and then obviously release the console in April. And you know, if it was announced in January and then it comes out in April, that would be a shorter window as well, so that kind of makes sense. But either way, hopefully we get something soon. But like I say, we're expecting some sort of Nintendo Direct on the horizon very, very soon, as well as an Indie Direct. And then obviously the Switch 2 may get announced after that, but also may just be a teaser or something. So that's all the Switch 2 stuff that I wanted to go over today. When do you think the console is going to get announced? And also, when do you think it's going to be dropped as well, like released? So that's all that. Moving on, I do want to quickly go over this Generation 10 rumor. We haven't really covered a Generation 10 rumor in a while, so I wanted to cover this one. It's from 4chan. It was posted a while ago. I've had it saved for a bit, but it was posted on the 23rd of July. I was always meaning to go back to it, but never have. But either way, thought it'd be a fun time to go over this Generation 10 rumor. So again, it was posted on 4chan, so as always, take it with a massive grain of salt. Unlikely to be true. They are working on Generation 10 right now. We know that, but again, very unlikely that this amount of information gets leaked about it, seeing as it's probably not going to be coming out until 2026. But anyway, it's titled Generation 10 Leaks by Anonymous. And they've started off by saying it's based on Madagascar, which isn't the first time I've seen that. I've seen it crop up a couple of times that Generation 10 is going to be based on Madagascar. I personally don't think it's going to be. I'm much more likely think it's going to be based on like Australia, maybe Japan, because obviously that's where it originated. Obviously America has been thrown around as well as a potential place where it could be based on, because obviously we've only really had it based on like New York and Hawaii. We haven't had like a full kind of American region. And obviously with how big America is, it kind of makes sense for an open world Pokemon game in my opinion. But either way, apparently based in Madagascar. It also says 115-ish new Pokemon, so it's quite a lot. It's quite a lot of new Pokemon. I think it has to be a decent Pokedex in this game. And again, that's just the new Pokemon. That's not talking the actual full size of the Pokedex. But if we ever gonna get like a game with the full national dex again, I feel like it has to be Generation 10 on the new Nintendo Switch, whatever it is called, you know, Switch 2 or whatever, Switch Plus. But yeah, I mean, hey, the power of that console is gonna absolutely be amplified compared to the actual Switch console. And we all saw how badly Generation 9 ran on it, so hopefully, yeah, the next console is much better and actually allows for a lot more kind of content on it. And then it also says AI enhanced battles, which is also interesting because Pokemon have spoken about AI in the past. It might have been Pokemon, it might have been Nintendo, but they did speak about how they would be able to incorporate it into games and stuff like that. Not that they were going to do it anytime soon, but it is something that they could do. So when it says AI enhanced battles, I don't know if that means like what it looks like or if it's actually going to take on like the gameplay and stuff like that, because it then goes on to say no longer turn-based battles, can use your environment to dodge attacks and to hit attacks you directly control the Pokemon, which I think would be really cool. I think I'd like to have the option to do that, so just a normal trainer battle or being able to take control of the Pokemon, because they're kind of slowly going in that direction. Obviously the initial reveal Legends ZA trailer saw us follow Pikachu. Obviously we had the Synchro machine in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet to kind of show what it looked like, so they are kind of closing in on that kind of situation a bit more. And I think being able to do like real-time battles where you control a Pokemon would be sick. I don't think it's going to happen for many years. I think it will eventually happen, but that would be so cool, like being able to control your Pokemon and like real-time battling where they're doing an attack, you can dodge it, and then you do an attack, and then they could, yeah, it'd be sick. I'd really, really like it. But yeah, don't think it's going to happen for a very, very long time. It says the battle gimmick is called Move Meld. So it combines signature moves with one of the other known moves, creating the potential for dual-type moves and physical/special moves. So I don't really get that, because obviously not every single Pokemon has a signature move. So would it be just a select few, like Mega Evolution and Gigantamax, stuff like that? And then, yeah, it says it fuses that with one of the other known moves. So let's say, trying to think of a unique move. So I don't know, maybe one of the Generation 7 starters. Pretty sure they've all got unique moves. So like, take Decidueye, for example. Decidueye uses, is it Spirit Shackle? I can't remember. Maybe another Pokemon can learn that, but let's just say that for example. So let's say it can use Spirit Shackle, and then it maybe combines it with Leaf Blade or something, and then it creates for a potential dual type, so it could be like a Grass Ghost attack, and then that has maybe a physical and special kind of attributes to it, maybe something like that. And then goes on to say the protagonist will gain levels and unlock different abilities as the story progresses. So I don't know what those abilities would be. Maybe it'd be like, I don't really know. Maybe I don't know. The only ability I could really think of is obviously having higher level Pokemon obey you, but that's just what we have anyway. So I don't really know what other abilities. Maybe being able to traverse different places, maybe it's different locations you can enter and stuff. There's a 4-move limit, which is gone once you attain a certain level. Okay, so that's the kind of thing. So maybe you could use like more Pokemon on your team, for example, more moves on the Pokemon, which I think would be a bit OTT. I think that'd be a bit overboard, but you know, I feel like Generation 10 is going to be the boldest game they're ever going to make. So, you know, to this point in time. So maybe they do like, maybe they just completely break the boundaries of Pokemon and just do everything different. The titled Pokemon is, so the titles are Pokemon Sentry and Pokemon Avenger. Terrible names, in my opinion. I don't think they should be called that at all. Pokemon X would have been a really good name for Pokemon, obviously Generation 10, but it's already been used, so we can't use that one. But yeah, Pokemon Avenger and Sentry doesn't sound great. New Pokemon include a new Grafaiai evolution, a Grass Electric Lemur, and an evolution for Lapras. An evolution for Lapras would be kind of cool. I feel like we need a pre-evolution instead, but yeah, I think a lot of people would like to see an evolution of Lapras. The choices influence the outcome of the game, potentially 3 completely different endings, which I've wanted in a Pokemon game for as long as I can remember. It would just help the replayability of the game so much. You know, the first time you play it, maybe you do this instead of that, and then a different ending, and then you got to play it again to get that ending, and then you got to play it again to get a different ending. It just helps the replayability, and you know that every single time you play the game, you're probably going to have a different experience and stuff like that. But yeah, 3 completely different endings would be really, really cool to see. It says the protagonist will age as the story progresses, which, yeah, I mean, that would be sick. I've always wanted, like, so much more character customization than we've been able to have. Obviously, Scarlet and Violet kind of broke the boundaries a little bit. I mean, not so much on the clothing customization, but actually being able to customize our character's face and stuff made it a little bit better. And I feel like the next step now is the age of the character, you know, facial hair, height, weight, stuff like that, being able to contribute all those factors to character to make it more so look like the person that's playing. And then, yeah, if they age through the story as well, that would be kind of cool. But I feel like the only way you'd really show that is if it'd be like, I don't know, once you beat the first, like, let's say 3 gyms, it then says like 5 years later or something like that, because you're not going to age that much in the time that you're playing the game, really. And like I say, there's going to be some sort of time skipping going on. The game will contain voice acting, which, yeah, I feel like that is something that we need as well. We obviously had it in new Pokemon Snap. We got it in Pokemon Friender as well, which is that new Japanese game. So they are kind of closing in on voice acting as well. So that being in Generation 10 would also be kind of cool. Some betas from previous generations will be included. So maybe like Garochu or something like that would be included. And then also the map is roughly a quarter of the size of Skyrim. I mean, I don't know if you ever played Skyrim, you probably have. It's a big map, so a quarter of the size of that for a Pokemon game. Yeah, I mean, I'd be down for that. So it actually sounds really good. I feel like it sounds like a massive fan fiction, but I would love this. You know, influencing choices, characters, you know, aging, stuff like that. I'm not really too sold on the gimmick like Move Meld. Not really a fan of that, but yeah, 115-ish new Pokemon, AI enhanced battles. It sounds really good, like real-time battles and stuff. This would be a solid Pokemon game for me. I feel like it seems more of a spin-off game than a new generation, but this is bold, and if that's what Pokemon are going to go for next, then yeah, I'm definitely down for it. I'd be one satisfied customer if this is what the game looked like. But let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think it's true or not? And also, yeah, where do you think the Generation 10 is going to be set? And then also, let me know your thoughts on all of the Nintendo Switch 2 rumors and latest updates and stuff. Like I say, it's still a rumor, but it's a very likely rumor and stuff. But let me know your thoughts on all that. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, drop a like. Let's try and hit 500. Obviously, like I say, leave a comment. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. Have a great rest of your day. And until next time, peace.